So you are considering making a move to Minneapolis, Minnesota, huh? You are going to want to stick around for this video. Today I am going to give you a Google Map tour of one of Minneapolis's nicest suburbs, one of its most desirable places to be, that absolutely capitalizes on that quintessential Minnesota lake life, my friends, and that's going to be Excelsior, Minnesota. So we're going to get this video rolling here in just 2 seconds, but before we do, and we're going to start by setting this up on Google Maps so you can see exactly where Excelsior is. Just take a second here to give you some highlights of what makes Excelsior so special, because it really is. It is nestled on the south shore of Lake Minnetonka. It's going to be the biggest city on the south shore, and it is absolutely, excuse the cheesy cliches coming here, but it is absolutely a picturesque lakeside town that offers a lifestyle very few communities, at least in Minnesota, can match. It's got a historic downtown. It's got a walkable waterfront and a very vibrant community spirit with lots going on. So we're gonna jump into the maps, we're gonna show you where it is, and we're gonna get rolling from there. If this is your first time to our channel, thank you very much for joining us. I am feeling spicy today. My name is Chris, my business partner Trevor, our team. We like to get out into the communities, places like Excelsior, show you guys what life is like up here in the great north. And we help people like you make a move here every single day. Our contact information is all below. Please subscribe. So we're gonna jump into the Commons area of Excelsior, Minnesota. Okay, so the first thing we wanna do here is obviously just give you guys a sense of where Excelsior is. How about we start with that? As I always like to do, we have the lovely city of Minneapolis. We have the lovely St. Paul metropolitan area, the mighty Mississippi coming through it, so now we can say a river runs through it. You really need to see that movie if you haven't seen it, by the way. But that's going to be our lovely metro area, and our subject, Excelsior, Minnesota, is going to be on the south shore of Lake Minnetonka, right over there. So we will zoom into that a little bit and give you guys a bit more detail here. But Excelsior is going to be about 20 miles basically directly southwest of Minneapolis downtown. Pretty easy to commute to get there. We'll touch on that later in the video. But the first thing to know is look at where Excelsior is in relation to Lake Minnetonka. I'm not kidding when I say, you know, when people think of that quintessential Minnesota lake life, having ice cream by the lake, doing fishing, eating a walleye sandwich, you're talking about Excelsior, Minnesota, whether you know it or not. Okay, so we are going to get this tour going around the waterfront in Excelsior, because I think that is the highlight of the community. So we'll just start out by taking a quick look at that. So a couple things to note real quick. Excelsior does have a huge chunk of publicly accessible waterfront, which is one of the really nice things about it. You're gonna find this whole western chunk is going to be privately owned. So these are gonna be some of these fantastic Lake Minnetonka estates that you are going to find right along the western edge of Excelsior. These homes are in the millions of dollars. They are absolutely fantastic if you can get yourself into one of them. But that's going to be privately owned. So the main chunk of publicly owned lakeshore, places where the rest of us can go and enjoy it, is going to basically be this whole stretch here. And that is where we are going to start our tour, is just looking at the publicly accessible waterfront in Excelsior. So the place to start is going to be Excelsior Commons, which is right here. This is a 13-acre park. As you can see, it is right on the waterfront. This is a fantastic spot, my friends. There are baseball fields. There are multiple beaches for swimming. There are tennis courts. There are park benches. There are fields. There is basically, there's a pavilion, there's an amphitheater. I can keep going on and on here, as you can see. But this 13-acre space this is where all the big things in Excelsior happens. They do fantastic fireworks on the 4th of July. They have an annual art festival. Apple Days happens every year. If it's a big deal, if it's a community gathering, pretty good chance it's happening on the waterfront, which means pretty good chance it's happening at Excelsior Commons. Just working our way down the shore here. So obviously this first part is more the park itself. As you get down a little bit along the southern edge here, you're going to start to find marinas, boats. If you're a boater, why wouldn't you be if you're living on Lake Minnetonka? This is a great place to keep your boat. Few other pretty cool things tucked into this waterfront here. So Tommy's Tonka Trolley. This is actually an ice cream now. It's a Sebastian Joe's, which is a local Minnesota ice cream place. I am an ice cream aficionado and ice cream snob, and I will assure you that Sebastian Joe's is fantastic. Grab your ice cream cone, take a walk up the shore with the family or through downtown on Water Street, whatever works. Just know that it's there. If you've never done one and you're new to the area, my goodness, get on one of these charters. Paradise Charter, there's one called Alan Alma's, Wayzata Bay Charter. There's a whole bunch of charter kind of services right in this little area that you can find and hop on. They're not expensive. You can get out on the lake for a couple hours. It's a great chance. If you have not seen the Lake Minnetonka real estate, get a charter just for that reason. But it's also a great way just to learn about the lake, float around a little bit, and enjoy the afternoon. So you move down the shore here just a little bit more, you're going to find a lot of apartments. The last thing I'm really going to call out here is Maynard's. Maynard's is a very popular sprawling eater right on the waterfront. As you can see, you can bring your boat right up to it. If you're a cornhole, beanbag toss, whatever you call it, wherever you're from, they've got free bags right here so you can grab a drink, grab your friends, go play some bags. Lots of outdoor seating, indoor seating as well. This is a massive place. So that's going to be the Excelsior waterfront. All of it's very well kept. All of it is very walkable. When you're going to visit Excelsior, that's going to be the place to start, is right on the waterfront. The next thing we are going to move into is Water Street. Water Street is going to be the main drag, if you will, that runs right downtown Excelsior, and it, along with the waterfront, I would say is also one of the major highlights of this community. So Water Street is lined with boutique cafes, cozy coffee shops, award-winning restaurants. It's definitely got a lot of historic character. If you like to poke around and do a little light shopping, it's a great place to come on a weekend or an evening, what have you. Grab a coffee and just meander down the street and see what you can find. All right, so Water Street is going to start, not shockingly, right on the water in Excelsior. So we're going to zoom in here and I'm going to give you an idea of where Water Street runs. So for the purpose of this video, we are really going to talk about a 5-block stretch of Water Street, which is honestly the part that matters, and it's most of it. So we're going to basically be looking from right on the waterfront, again, 4 or 5 blocks running right down the main drag of Excelsior. This is where you're going to find 95% of the commercial activity in Excelsior. This is where the restaurants, the boutique shopping, coffee shops, small businesses, you're all going to find them right on Water Street. So starting on the water, if you want to just come off the water and be moving into town, the first place of note I would call out is Haskell's. This is just a fixture in Excelsior. See if we can find you a good picture here on the map. But Excelsior's is, as you can see, it's a liquor store, wine and spirits. There's a few other ones in the metro, but they are right on the corner, right across from the lake, and you can see they've got this great outdoor seating. So it's one of these places you can hop in, grab a glass of your favorite wine, maybe grab a bite to eat, and sit outside and just watch the lake and life pass you by. Move up the street a little bit, the next place, and guys, there's going to be way too many places for me to call out, so if I don't call it out, doesn't mean it's not a great place. We just don't have 70 hours to make this video. I'm sure all of you guys have other things to do as well, so we're just going to touch on a few of them, but just, this is the place to be. Lagos Tacos, right across the street. Great, relatively inexpensive place if you want to grab a little dinner or lunch. Most of these places, including Lagos, you're going to be able to grab a table right out on the sidewalk, so you can sit outside and take it all in. There is an ice cream shop. It's not on here, but right across, oh, here it is. I'm sorry, Licks, right across the street. There's no shortages of ice cream shops in Excelsior, and I don't think that's a coincidence. So grab your tacos, hop across the street, grab a little ice cream, and carry on with your walk. Excelsior Bay Books, that's going to be one of these just cool little boutique type stores, which there's going to be plenty as we are working our way down Water Street. So we'll just carry on here. Keep moving up. Art gallery, lots of little places like that, again, along on Water Street. If I'm in Excelsior myself and I want sushi, I'm going to Yumi's. Great spot. It's been one of my favorite sushi places for a long time. I'm a sushi snob, that's hard to say. Moving along down Main Street, you can see a lot more of the same. Small boutique type shops, Coalition Restaurant, another one. This is relatively new, probably within the last 5 years. Modern American Fare, very busy on the weekends, so just plan accordingly. Leopold's Gifts and Antiques. This has been here forever, and I love these old school storefronts. Super quirky. You're gonna find lots of cool stuff in here, including probably the owner's dogs and pets. But that's just another one of these places you might want to poke into as you are walking down. And you can see all of them. Clothing stores, boutiques, on and on. Moving right along, so we talked about my sushi place. If I'm in Excelsior and I want pizza, I'm probably going to Olive's Fresh. I can't say this word, but this is... everyone's gonna laugh at me. Neapolitan, the thin crust pizza like you get in Italy. That's what Olive's is. It's very good. It's also a wine bar. It's also very busy from 5 o'clock on. So again, plan accordingly. Right across the street, you've got the Red Bench Bakery. Cool little spot for baked goods. Grab your coffee, grab your bagel, grab a walk. Very recently opened in the last couple of years is going to be Excelsior Brewing Company, which is just, as you can see, just ever so slightly off the main drag. Live music here, I'm not going to say every night on the weekends, but they've got a lot of live music, casual, kind of industrial feel to it, cool places. I don't know what it is, but over the past 5 to 10 years, there are breweries popping up just everywhere in the metro. So there's another one for you in Excelsior. Carrying on, we're getting a little bit closer to the end here. Leyline is another newer restaurant, American fare. Not too much in Excelsior is going to be cheap. That is probably a drawback to Excelsior. The cost of living is definitely going to be higher than your typical community. But Leyline is another one of those places you might want to check out as you're walking down. 318 Cafe, great for coffee. Check out their avocado toast. Simple, good food, really cool environment in the restaurant itself. Got an old school feel to it. I love it. That's where I'd be going for breakfast and coffee if I'm in town. Working our way up here a little bit, you'll start to see a few bed and breakfasts, things like that. As you get to the end of town here, we've got another sushi place. I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't tried this one, but I've heard good things. So as you get right up near the end of Water Street, one thing I think is important to know is for all that Excelsior has, being a relatively smaller community, it also does not have some things. So the only grocery store you're going to find in Excelsior is Kowalski's. And I've touched on Kowalski's in some of our other videos. From a product and quality selection, Kowalski's is absolutely fantastic. It's going to be a bit pricier. As I've said in some of my other videos, Kowalski's is Whole Foods on steroids. And I mean that as far as the great quality and selection of items. I also mean that as far as price. So you've got a place in Excelsior to get your food. And you've got plenty of other options, 10 to 15 minutes away. If you want to make a short drive, you can find some more affordable grocery store options. But that's going to be Water Street, my friends. 4 or 5 blocks right through the heart of downtown Excelsior. And along with the waterfront, it's what brings people to town. So obviously schools can be a big piece of the equation for a lot of us that have families. So just to touch on this briefly, Excelsior is served by Minnetonka School District, which according to niche.com was the #1 rated high school in the state. It is definitely year in and year out consistently one of the top 2 or 3 districts. So you're in very good hands there. Just real quickly, we're going to jump into the map. Just want to show you where both the high school is in relation to Excelsior as well as the elementary. I think the school situation in Excelsior is really nothing but good news. As I already mentioned, it is served by the Minnetonka district, which is one of the best in the state. Now I'm going to show you just how easy it is to get to these things, these schools, if you live in Excelsior. So if you have young children, obviously we're probably looking at elementary school. And guess what? Here is Excelsior Elementary School. It's right off of Highway 7. Here's Excelsior. If you live in Excelsior, that school is probably walkable for you. So elementary school is very close. And then just to give you an idea of where the high school is in relation to it as well, again, top-rated Minnetonka High School. It's what's real nice for Excelsior residents is the Minnetonka High School is right on the western edge of Minnetonka, and it's right off 7. So in the absolute worst traffic, that's maybe 10 minutes. And most of the time, it's probably 3 or 5. School situation in Excelsior, they're awesome, they're convenient, and they're close. So of course, next I'm going to touch on the real estate and housing situation in Excelsior. Just a few quick thoughts in general here. Number one, Excelsior is an expensive place to be. I was just looking at my own MLS, and as of May 2020, median home value in Excelsior was about 1.1 million. So something with Excelsior real estate, it's in demand. There's not a lot of it. Basic supply and demand takes a hold and prices are high. Generally speaking, however, real estate in Excelsior is a premium in-demand market, right? It's a blend of historic charm and luxury appeal. You'll find everything from Victoria-era homes that are more near the walkable town area to very massive, modern lakefront estates on the shores of Minnetonka with private docks and the whole works. So we'll take a quick peek in the MLS, give you an idea of how much of it's out there, some basic prices, and see what we can find out. So we're looking at an overhead view on MLS, and we'll just give you guys a basic idea of the real estate situation in Excelsior. Probably the biggest thing to note is what I already said, is it's expensive, my friends. But there's really, as we started off this video, there's kind of two chunks to Excelsior. The majority of Excelsior is on the north side of Highway 7, and you can see where that's most of the real estate activity is happening. Excelsior does creep over a little bit onto the south side of Highway 7, and if you want to get into Excelsior at a little bit more of an affordable price point, you can definitely look on this south side of Highway 7, and you'll just, obviously, again, not a lot of it, but you'll see $500K, $490 for a 4.2, $534 for a 3.2, $665 for a 4.3. And so what the big difference is, when you are on this side of Highway 7, you can still walk to downtown. It's still, to be honest, it's still pretty walkable. There is a bridge so you can cross over Highway 7, but that's the thing. You're on the other side of the highway. So yes, prices are a bit lower, and that's the reason why. So as you get into more Excelsior proper, and what I just really want to start doing is just illustrating prices. Like I mentioned, average price of a home as of May 2025 was 1.1 million. And there you go, right out of the gate, 1.1 million for, I'm assuming, what is going to be a condo. Yep, something like that. So 2019 built, 2-bed, 4-bathroom, 2-car garage, giving you just over 2,400 square feet with a $400 a month HOA. You can get that for 1.1. Let's see what else we can find just as we move around. So as you get on the waterfront, as to be expected, we're going to see these prices jump. So let's see what we see here. Here we go, coming in at 6.2 million right on the waterfront, 4-bed, 7-bath. Just under about 6,500 square feet. Again, half acre in Excelsior waterfront. That's going to be premium real estate, and it obviously was at 6.2 million. Let's see what the other one just down the road for the bargain price of 3.8 million, built in 1900. Probably a pretty cool home. Let's take a peek. So there you go. There's the fireworks over Excelsior. But this is what you're paying for here. It's a renovated, obviously Victorian era home, updated, 4,000 square feet, 4-bed, 4-bath. That's these $1 million estates are what you're going to find. The homes across from Excelsior Commons or near tend to drive pretty big price. On that note, in Excelsior, what you will find is you will find smaller boutique builder building one-off really high-end homes. You're not going to find big national builders. There is not the real estate in Excelsior to develop that, frankly. Just an idea. Excelsior real estate is very desirable. It tends to be very expensive. You're definitely going to want an agent if you're trying to get in there, because there also is a significant number of off-market opportunities if you know where to find them. So we are pretty close to wrapping this video up. Just for the last little piece of the puzzle here, I just figured I would show you guys a few things in the map that if I was considering a move to lovely Excelsior, Minnesota, I think I would want to know. So we'll hop back into the map, show you guys a couple more things here, and then we will call this one good. It's just a cool place. That is the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum, owned by the University of Minnesota. It's what it sounds like. It's an arboretum with some really cool plants, great walking trails. It's probably only about a 10 to 15 minute drive, as you can see from Excelsior. So just a cool point you might want to know about if you're going to be living in that area. After that, who doesn't love themselves some Costco, right? You got two options for Costco if you are in Excelsior. You have Costco Eden Prairie, going to be a little bit further away, and then you also have a Costco now This Costco is so new, it's not even on the Google Maps yet, but I've been there, so I can assure you it's there. Costco right down here in Chaska. So I'm a big Costco guy. If you guys like Costco, you live in Excelsior, you have two pretty close options for that. To the airport, how about that one? That's a bit more of a commute. You can see it here. That is probably gonna take you, depending on the traffic, 35, 45. If you have nasty traffic, that could be pushing closer to an hour. But again, depending on the time of day, it's really not too bad. And MSP is a great airport. Someday we need to do a video on MSP. Excelsior, Minneapolis, or Excelsior to downtown Minneapolis. Probably about a 30-minute drive, depending on traffic, maybe a little less. You take Highway 7, 494 up, and it's a straight shot down 394. That'll take you right downtown Minneapolis. I just want to show you the bike trail opportunities. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think Minneapolis itself was ranked like it was in the top 3 for bike-friendly urban areas. So I'm just going to back off real quick. All this green is bike trails. So you bike people. But one of the major bike trails is called the Minnetonka Light Regional Trail. That's where this blue line is. But what I really wanted to show you just is how far this extends. So here's my blue line. This is bringing you from Minnetonka to Excelsior. But look at this. You can stay on this trail and it will take you down through all the lakes, all the way down out into Victoria and Carver. And as you can just see here by looking at the maps, all these green lines are bike trails. You can get all in and around the lakes here, all on your bike. It's extremely biker friendly. Last piece of the puzzle, shopping. As I mentioned, downtown Excelsior's got some really cool boutique style shops, some really interesting stuff, but they don't, if you're looking for a mall, high-end retailers, things that you're probably more familiar with, the closest option for you is going to be Ridgedale, which is going to be right up here off 394, 15-minute drive. So pretty easy. To me, that's one of the things I love about Excelsior, is you have the metro at your fingertips. Another cheesy cliche for you. You have the metro at your fingertips, but when you're in Excelsior, it really feels like you're in a whole different world, very small town, and that is definitely part of the charm. So what's not to love? Man, Excelsior with its walkable charm, the Lake Minnetonka living, distinctive and variety of homes, top-tier school districts, culture and community, metro access with a retreat lake-like feel. What is not to like? So that's going to be a wrap for us today. Again, if you haven't already, all of our contact information is below. If you're considering making a move, please reach out. We'd love to help you. We know the area, and this is what we do. My name is Chris, my partner Trevor. Thank you again for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you guys again on the next one real soon.